Well, hello. My name is Jeff. Uh, see, there's a lot of men sharing their childbirth experience, and I thought I'd like to share mine. Mine's from quite a while back. I've had 4 beautiful kids. After the first one, you say, I'm never doing that again, but we seem to always end up doing that anyway. My story starts a long time ago. I'll never forget, I was working all day. I had to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, go to work at 6. Come home from work, had supper. Finally went to bed around 10:30, 11 o'clock. And you know how you lay there when you're waiting for the baby to come anyway. Pretty soon, my wife says, honey, it's time. And I'm thinking, oh man, I've been awake all day. I'm going to be awake all night. So I tried to say, well, you think you'd wait maybe 2 more days till it's a weekend? But she slapped me and said, forget it, I'll just drive myself. We all know how bad women drivers are anyway, let alone being 9 months pregnant and going through contractions. I could see her jerking the wheel every 2-3 minutes, and I couldn't let that happen. So I got up and took her to the hospital, and we got there. The staff was fine. At least it was fine to her. I was totally ignored. As soon as we got there, they treated her like a princess. Got her in a nice chair and wheeled her over to the bed and helped her get into the bed and puffed her up with pillows, gave her a warm blanket. And you got to remember, this was like February. I guess it was February the 9th. And it was cold out. It was cold in, but they didn't offer me nothing anyway. So as we're sitting there waiting for the baby, you know how you do. They just kind of ignored me and come in every 5 minutes to check on her. And finally, one of them said, don't you want to hold your wife's hand? I'm thinking, yeah, probably be a good idea. So I go over and hold her hand, and the contractions start coming, and I'm telling you what, you talk about excruciating pain. Hulk smash has nothing on her, I'm telling you. It's a squeeze, and then it go away, and a squeeze. I'm like, oh man, and I had to switch hands. It hurt so bad. I'm not kidding. It was one of the worst times of my life. But anyway, I suffered through that, standing on a concrete floor with absolutely nobody paying attention to me. And then my wife started talking to me and saying words that just cut to the bone, and I'm still affected by them today. I'll never forget those words. You did this to me. You did this to me. And I'm like, honey, we decided, no, you did this to me. And then squeeze my hand. And I'm like, oh my goodness, here we go. So anyway, I suffered through that. I like the fellow before me, I didn't have nothing to eat. I hadn't had nothing to eat since supper time. We went in at 11:30, 12 o'clock, and by this time it was 3 or 4. And of course, it was, don't leave me. I'm like, hey, I'm just going down the, no, you're not leaving me. I'm like, okay, I'm not leaving. So anyway, they started to have the baby. And the doctors rushed in, nurses, and shoved me over in the corner. Said, when it's time, we'll let you know. So I'm sitting there in the corner, and pretty soon they said, okay, she's about ready to have the baby. And back then, they used to make you stand at the head of the birthing table, and they'd put a mirror up for you, a little mirror. All I could see was the back of the doctor's head. First, I thought that was the baby, and then I realized he was just bald. But anyway, so we had the baby, and of course, just like anything, they treated me like I wasn't even my kid. I mean, they didn't even know I was there. After the baby, they took the baby and wrapped him up and gave him to their mom. She got a hold of him, and then everybody come in and took pictures, and I'm sitting over in the corner. I'm like, hey, it's my baby too. But it was like, nah, it didn't matter. So I think I finally got in the picture maybe 3 or 4 days later, because they needed me to carry the baby to the car, of course. But anyway, I'm thinking about starting a group, and if anybody wants to join, we can talk this out. We can get through this. We can get over this. It's not as bad as it seemed. I know my wife was a trooper, and she suffered very much and a long labor. And I'm thinking she probably didn't suffer as much as me, but she did suffer. I will give her that. So anyway, I hope this helps someone out there. Thank you very much.